We're back again after a break from One Piece. This time is chapter 1183, titled Good Mermaid. Let's see what it entails. The chapter starts out with a continuation of the battle between Loki and Emu, where Emu's still talking to Ragnir, bringing up something about vengeance, apparently, with Emu also mentioning the name Dozan, so apparently that might be the old user of the Nidhogg fruit and Ragnir's old master, so seemingly Emu has killed him, and Ragnir is holding a grudge, which hey, I don't blame him for that. I'd hold a grudge too. If someone was so important that you'd wait 800 years for someone to come along and replace him, if you ever encounter the guy who killed your original friend, I'd understand if someone would be a little miffed about that. Anyways, both Loki and Emu charged their attacks, Loki by summoning 2 thunderbolts from the clouds above them, and Emu blocking with a different weapon this time, Sword of Wrath Graham, whatever that means. So this looks like it's gonna be a long drawn out battle till Luffy comes along. Then we cut back to the western village where Zaza is laying havoc and stealing the children, but the injured parents are standing up to her. Whatever, fully disregarding any safety of their own, and someone gets immediately downed by Zaza, and the lady giant shoots an arrow at a particular place in Zaza, let's say, with Killingham being satisfied with stealing 7 children this time, and that's right where Sanji arrives to the scene. Then we cut back to the ice block that Emu attacked last time, the one that encases Gunko inside of it, or Princess Sherry, as we're gonna learn later more about her. With the ice not melting or even getting damaged all that much, it might be a little cracked, but that's kind of impressive for Ragnir's freezing to withhold an attack potentially equal to what downed both Zoro and Sanji. Then we cut to, oh my God, why is he still here? Oda's just taunting me with this guy, I swear. Why is he still talking? Shut up! Go back to bed. Go to sleep. We can get the exposition from literally just anyone else. Just shut up, bumsod. Get your ass out of here. Whatever. He just asks Brook about his confrontation with the lady, and the rest of the crew are also quite curious on her connection to Brook, with Brook addressing that she'd be 77 by now and that it couldn't possibly be her, and telling the crew that she was supposed to be sent to marry Joao the last time he saw her. Frankie seems to have checked up on the ice block with Gunko inside, coming back to inform the crew that she is still there, and Brook fully acknowledging the different mood swings or the different personality she seems to show throughout their encounter. And in order for the crew to decide her fate, Brook starts laying out exactly what his connection to her is, in way of a classic character developing flashback from Oda. We jump all the way 70 years in the past in the West Blue to a young Brook singing at the top of his lungs throughout his old kingdom, which was named Esperia Kingdom, striking a decent Nika pose in the process. And he seems to be singing about a particular person, him distinguishing her as a potential mermaid. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Then we cut to the castle where a bunch of soldiers are coming to Brook for advice and for him to teach them how to do his iconic swift slashes, with him being kind of annoyed that they didn't learn from his old teachings. Then we see him in a garden decorated with all sorts of instruments and music notes, walking with a little girl who we now know is Gunko, or Princess Shuri, who's a 7-year-old girl right now. And they seem to be getting along quite nicely. She seems to be quite the big fan of him, and he seems to be a little too fond of her still married mother, the queen, with the king, her husband, being within earshot. What is wrong with him, man? Trying to cuck the king you serve right in front of him and in front of his daughter nonetheless? That's pretty wild. And the king here, who is named King Leuven, kinda looks like that one king character from the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. The resemblance is kind of uncanny to me, actually. After that, they're interrupted by a soldier coming to inform the king that some gangsters are after the queen, who's at the opera at the moment. And the gangsters are from the Muron family. And I wonder if they have any connection to Gang Bage's family. Or maybe even Don Marlin from the Rocks Pirates in any way. I do believe they're all from the west, but who knows. And although the queen, whom Brook is quite fond of, seems to be in danger, he doesn't seem all that concerned. And for good reason that we'll learn about a little bit later. We see a shot of the gang rampaging through the city to the opera where the queen is and demanding that the queen surrenders to their boss. And I'm gonna have to pause right here. What is wrong with the people in One Piece, man? The women that are in One Piece seem to cause a lot more trouble just by merely existing. The married queen here is being demanded from a bunch of gangsters and by one of her royal guards apparently. And a few years from now, Shaki's disappearance is gonna cause a worldwide economic disaster for about 2 weeks. What is wrong with those people? Why are the women causing this much trouble just by merely existing? Anyways, the king is in quite a panic, coming to Brook for help, but Brook informs him that he has already dealt with the problem of the gangsters that morning and that he already slashed them when he first came in contact with them, which is crazy because I know that Brook, since his introduction, his sword skill relied on him cutting someone without him noticing till a few seconds later, but hours after they were already cut. They are only cut after Brook is learned that they are a danger to their people. So if they didn't cause trouble, would they just not be cut at all till Brook decides it? Or is this a mental thing? Or what is happening with Brook, man? He's getting so much hype, so much screen time, and I'd say he deserves it. Then we finally get to see this mysterious queen. Her name is Queen Candle, and she doesn't immediately strike mermaid features basically at all, maybe other than her hair looking like some seaweed, but other than that, she looks perfectly human. But we'll have to wait and see about that in the next few chapters. Bye!